Well, back at it today. I am going to be working on these standalone bricks. The difference between them being the backside, obviously, of these bricks is just flat and frankly ugly. If you're looking from both sides, you want to see that nice cut look, chiseled look. So that is the reason why I use the standalone bricks at the very top. I used it in the very back, where behind the garage, where I went ahead and had both sides to look at as well up there. So I said, I don't want to really look at this flat kind of cut edge. And of course, you don't want to get in the business of trying to break them off and chisel them. So I looked into it, and they have these standalone bricks. Now, the difference this time versus 2 years ago is that it was one solid brick that was chiseled on both sides. This time it is two bricks, and you can see here the three bricks that are in play down below, with this channel between them. And I guess they got a lot of feedback from contractors that said that they had no way to run, say electrical or something through this to get lights and what have you, when it was before they would have to cut each one of the bricks. Additionally, standalones tend to be in some sort of circular pattern, so they had to do a lot of cuts to get the circle to come in. And oddly, I have that scenario myself today. Before, I only had a straight wall. So these are the reasons why I'm using the standalone bricks at the top. And you can see how the paver is going to marry into the back of this, and then, look nice and crisp all the way up. So it'll be interesting. It's the first time using this brick versus, like I said, the one brick and put in it. It seems like it would be a lot easier, because now you got to run two straight lines. Now, what I'm going to do is, and I've already done the math on it, is I'm going to go ahead, and if you look at this right here, it's about 11 inches. You may not be able to see it completely in the camera. Okay, it's 11 inches. These bricks are 12 inches below. If I go 1.5 inches between them, then I can just run a board down the middle of them temporarily, just to make sure that the spacing stays consistent all the way up. So, a couple things I've got to do first, and I don't necessarily have to do it because these have to be glued down. I'm going to want to lay it out. I'm going to lay it all out, get it all in position, and then I will come back and pick up each brick and glue. I may this time kind of take a couple, 2, 3 off at the same time, but ultimately I'm going to want to glue. It's a process that I'm going to learn today. I'm not going to really have it as memory of what I've already done. The second thing I'm going to have to make sure that I do is I'm going to have to drop a line down the back here, and it's not going to be necessary behind the willow, but it's going to be necessary going up the road, because I want to make sure that that line mirrors the road as best as possible all the way up, and that I have this these bricks, as they're stair stepping up, set in the right place, because I set those by eye. I did some basic look, but now it's the time to make sure that you're matching in completely. So I'll do that work here as well. So getting to it, it's a beautiful day. It's going to stay beautiful all weekend, and it's a good weekend to be working on something so basically simple. This is and from the point of view of, it's not going to be a sweat fest. I'm done with the A-grade rock for now. I'm done with the dirt for now, and the major stacking of the larger bricks, 85-pounders. These are a lot smaller. Unfortunately, I hurt my hand yesterday. I actually caught it on video, but I don't know what I did actually. I have no idea. It still functions and all that, so I didn't break anything. It just probably strained it, and it seems odd. It must have been just the way it was sitting, but getting older, and that's the things that you kind of have to put up with. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and drop the line first, and then I'll start setting the bricks in. I'll start at this end and work my way around the turn. That's the longest run, and then see how it looks, and maybe I'll even glue it down at that point, and then move on to the next tier, the next tier, the next tier. So with that, let's get going. Okay, I wanted to make sure that the line drop on the back showed me where the top of the pavers would land, and I didn't want to see this as I described earlier. And taking a first look at it, it just is, it obviously this brick here needs to go away. It's interesting, when I was originally laying it out, I thought this was one brick too far, and it appears to be such. Now, I still have a little bit of a challenge here, and so then it does beg the question, you know, can you pull it up like this and get there? And I think the answer is generically yes. So the challenge is I want to flow with the road, and you know, obviously every inch you go up multiplies across you know, hundreds of square feet of rock that you're going to have to put down for the driveway. Now, our driveway is in reasonably good shape from the point of view of the base is there, everything's solid, it's not rutted out, things of that nature. However, because of all the work that's being done down here, it's just turned to dust. So I will be pouring more gravel onto the driveway when we get to that point, and leveling some of the pitch out. So, or at least that's the goal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take this guy off. Everything else looks to be aligned with where I want to go, and yeah, so let's get going on that. Now, with these being separated like they are, I won't be, obviously the bricks won't even be common, and the look front to back, who cares? You're never going to see the front and the back at the same time. And they won't be lined up, because as we go into the corner, obviously you got a different start point, and then the corner is going to be a different point. Not a big deal again, because you're never going to see the both sides. Also too, again, with the pavers, it's going to block some portion of this. You'll never see these, and you'll never see how it lines up. However, the front needs to match the front of the retaining wall, which that's fine, and it'll give me a guidance of what's the next brick, next brick, next brick. So I will run the front being the front of the retaining wall, to mirror the course 2 down, and it'll go across just looking exactly like the bottom. Okay, it looks like I've got my pattern on the front. On the back, I'm gonna have to break a brick to make it look right going that way. I'm gonna go ahead and take a long one and give it a bust, hopefully somewhere, you know, call it just at the 2-inch mark or something like that. Again, these two, the front and the back, can be decoupled because there's no visibility to both sides. So I'm just laying it out. I'll get that, bust that brick out, and then I gotta play with this corner just a bit. Might have to break 2 bricks, because this guy here may not be enough to cover that distance. I need a 9. This is a 12. I don't need a 6. I need a 9. So we'll have to work through that. But I do have to continue around the turn here. I have to get this straightened out. So let me go get some more bricks. Okay, I have 2 pallets in the back that are too deep, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to the driveway side. bring those 2 pallets down, and then I can work all 4 ties right there back and forth between the 2 pallets, as you're supposed to work from multiple pallets to get this done, so that you have that variance in the color of the bricks. I've noticed that some of the pallets do get pretty uniform, so it's you got to keep your eye on that, or else you're going to get patchiness in your wall. Okay, so the bricks don't come in 3 sides, okay? So you're going to have to make 3-sided if you want an end cap on each one of these courses that are going up. So it's time to make some. So I'll split these guys all in half, and it'll create my situation where I can go ahead. Where I'm going to run into problems, these guys aren't available anymore. So I'm a little interested in what I'm going to do on the west wall. And I'm running out of these. I may be able to take care of, maybe, half of what I need. So what I'll probably end up having to do is take one of the long ones and bust off 2 ends of it to produce the 3-sided. So no big deal. You're just gonna have to do it differently. So now it's time to do, this is actually one of the worst things to do. So takes a little time. There is a tool that you can use that puts pressure on it, breaks it in half, and then produces a half brick. But I didn't buy it, and I just using the chisel to bust it down. Well, it's never fun to do that chisel work. I'm happy to see that wall is basically done, other than the caps. It really looks sharp behind me. I think as it goes up, we're going to be on the back side with the pavers. It'll close out that gap. It'll look really nice on the back side, where you can maybe see a little bit of the base bricks. I think I've got that figured out and covered. Just have to be careful, because once I pour that concrete in those tubes, I don't want to be in the business of chiseling away the concrete to get that leveled out. So I'll have to be cutting the tubes if necessary at the top, get them all in that plane, get that plane perfectly so that the pavers lay up all the way up to the top as I want and designed. So yeah, it looks good. Got about 30 feet left to put on the turn here for the standalone bricks. I'll get those done, and then I'll come take a little break, come back, and be gluing away. It's all about glue for the rest of the day. Just glue, glue, glue. Landscape glue. I'm having Ron backfill this area up because we need it to be a little bit more, it still won't be level, it'll be pitched towards the creek, but it right now has a valley. I want that valley gone because obviously all water needs to find its way to the creek, and anything that pools is not a good thing. So I'm gonna have him go ahead and do it. I might actually have him drop a little load right here in front of one of the cherry trees. I think that needs a little leveling too. Well, I'm going to continue working on this caps. It's going to take a little bit longer to get these done, as you know, I will have to do the cuts around the turn. But I'm going to continue north up the driveway. Only going to put in a couple steps today and call it good, and then tomorrow come back at it again and do the turn, bring down my table saw and cut out the bricks. Hank. Hank. Oh yes, yes. My kitty cat's gonna go crazy when he smells you on him.
Loves kitty cats.
Oh mercy.
Yeah, my wife's wanting to get a cat.
Oh yeah. You want a friend?
Oh.
Yeah, they put you in, they get in charge of you though, just like women do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just a man. He's like the biggest leaner I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like we rescued him about, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh jeez.
He just leans on everybody.
Oh, he's a lover.
He is. He's just,
How old?
He just turned 4.
Oh, perfect age.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just the perfect age where you're a lover. You're not reckless anymore.
He catches mice.
Oh wow! Do you catch moles? I got some moles for you.
Yeah, he would. He digs he turns the tunnel into a ditch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay, so the shims work out really nice. I do break them off and leave them in there. I've noticed that over time when this heats up, it may settle just a bit. You know, you're not going to have perfect. These things are not perfect, and it's all designed to be a little bit rough. But I try my best to get it as level per brick, and then of course level overall is really critical, and as well as square out, lined up. I'm a little concerned about the third one out. Nothing I can do about it now. It's nice and frozen. It's done. But it all looks good. Very happy with it. Onto the turn. I'm going to jump in on this turn now and work with my rigid tile cutter to cut the angles. It's not going to be one of these situations where I'll be able to obviously just work with it as a straight line like I did going up the driveway. So I'm going to have to probably cut almost every one of these bricks. So as we make that turn around, I'll dry fit it first, of course, because I want to make sure we're landing correctly all the way around the turn, and then I'll glue it down later today. It should be an all-day project. This is a lot of cuts. There's probably a good 50 stones here. Might need, each stone has to be maybe cut twice just to get it to kind of fit with the next one. I've I'm going to be having my headgear on because simply it's going to be loud, and you know, picking up each one of those things, bringing it over, bringing it, going back and forth. It'll be quite laborious today, but the good news is it'll be extremely rewarding because that would be the official end of the retaining wall. Still got a fence, still got to put a willow in, still got to do other things. We're not done. But this retaining wall in the east would be completed, and that's exciting. Now I have dug the hole and have put in the rock on the west side, so it's sitting there staring at me going, okay, come over here, guy. We've got more work to do. So with that, let's get to the work, and hey, should work out good. Looking forward to it. That was a rough one. The turn came together well at the end. The beginning, I was really having a tough time getting that turn. The very beginning of the turn is a little bit more aggressive than the rest of the turn. It's because I wanted to square box the corner there. Don't know why. I look back now thinking it was kind of silly, but it comes just about 4 feet and it starts to get a little bit more aggressive in the turn, and I was struggling with that, as of course the cuts have to be the same length when they marry up between the bricks. If you notice, I changed my method from what I had originally started my day with. I was going to use the board method, you know, cut it. It just wasn't working out for me, everything, because I think the additional angles on the bricks, I don't know the reasoning for it. All I know is it wasn't working out for me, so I switched to the other method of stacking the brick on top, drawing a line, lining it all up. Boom, it worked like a champ. got around the turn. One cut per brick basically. Every once in a while, about every third brick, I would use a whole brick, so the turn was a little bit softer than a cut necessary. So yeah, it went really well in the end. I can't say that in the beginning, so as a result, I will not be able to glue down today. I'll glue down tomorrow. I glue down now, it's just mistakes will be made, and I don't want that. I want it to be fresh in the morning to do it, because then when it's glued down, it's done. I did have to take up the corner and rework it, and it was quite the chiseling effort. I just spare you the look of it. It was just on, chipping away like I was, whacking out the first wheel or something out of block, or rock, I guess. So yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm happy with it. It'll play nicely. I got one more day. I thought I was going to be done today. Not. It's going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to finish it with the glue up. Nice cooler weather. We are entering 100-degree weather here this next week. So I don't know how much I'm going to get done. I can't work in the afternoons. That's the hottest part of the day here. So it'll be, probably weekend work here, which will elongate the project tremendously, because, we're not done. I already did the dig and the initial fill of the west side. So, coming to the end of this project as far as the retaining wall goes in the east. So that's good. One more day. One more day.